Marketing trends for 2025 are changing thanks to a once-in-a-generation shift in how people are responding to marketing and advertising. And the best part is this isn't just for the big brands with endless budgets. Everybody can steal these ideas and win big in 2025. So in this video, I'm going to show you the top 5 marketing trends for 2025, how you can adopt them and succeed over the next 12 months, and why, as a small business, you actually have an advantage over the bigger competition. Now, this is a channel about farming, so why on earth are we talking about marketing? Well, it's what I do on a daily basis. When I'm not on YouTube, I spend my time helping agricultural brands who actually want to stand out and get noticed with their marketing. But before we look forward into 2025, we need to understand what has changed. Buyers, and particularly younger buyers, are becoming a lot more skeptical about traditional marketing and paid ads. They're not interacting with paid ads in the same way as older generations do, and that typical buyer's journey from seeing an ad through to buying a product is becoming increasingly more difficult. That's not to say that paid ads shouldn't form part of your marketing strategy, because they should, but they're becoming more expensive with lower ROI and ultimately less effective. Fundamentally, people don't go online to be sold to these days. The way in which consumers are discovering, engaging, and ultimately buying products and services is shifting. They are moving around various different platforms in a way that feels more natural to them, whilst becoming more skeptical of paid ads. So how is this going to change the marketing landscape in 2025? The first trend is that video remains crucial. I know this one might seem a little bit obvious, but if you are trying to get most bang from your buck, then it is all about video content. It is the best way to get the most amount of information across to your target audience in the shortest space of time, and that is why it is so effective. People are time poor with such short attention spans. They are less likely to sit down and read a 500-word blog or article discussing your latest product updates. They want the information quickly, and video is the best option for this. What does this mean for your business? Well, in 2025, all roads are going to lead to video content, and that is not going away anytime soon. I'm going to come on to SEO and Google's dominance later in this video, but if there is one type of content that I would urge you to focus on next year, it's video. Trend number 2 is that organic content is king. If consumers aren't engaging with paid ads, then what are they engaging with? It's organic content. The way in which people are discovering, engaging, and ultimately buying products and services these days is online. But here's the catch: they don't want to be sold to. Consumers are getting ad blindness and ad saturation. There is just too many ads competing for your attention. And ultimately, people aren't stupid. They can sniff out when they're being sold to. Consumers these days go online to be educated, to be entertained, to be inspired, or even just to get away from the drudgery of everyday life. If you're not offering them valuable content in this form, then you're just going to get left behind. For as backwards as this sounds, stop trying to sell to people through your content. Give them the knowledge and empower them to make the right decisions. Build trust while positioning your products and services as the best solution to the problems that they are trying to solve. So what does this mean for your business? Well, the days of just pumping money into Facebook and Google ads are quite simply gone. If you're not offering authentic, valuable content to consumers online, then you're going to get left behind. This isn't like paid ads and where you can just pay someone to get you up and running within a few days. It's a slower burn, but it is going to become increasingly more valuable over the next 3 to 5 years. The later you leave it, the harder it is to catch up, so best get started now. Trend number 3 is that influencers are out. I am going to get a fair bit of heat for this, but I think the impact or the effectiveness of influencers for brands is diminishing across the board. Again, this stems from consumers being skeptical about paid ads. They can sniff out paid promotions or paid partnerships a mile off. Consumers these days crave authenticity more than anything. In a world of AI, fake news, and ad saturation, they want to build genuine relationships with the people that they see online. They can see right through the fact that you've paid a famous face or a poster child for the industry to front your campaign. They're not stupid. Now, influencers certainly aren't going away, but I think the landscape is very much changing and the effectiveness for brands is diminishing, and that's a trend I see continuing into 2025. So what does this mean for your business? Well, I think a better use of your money is to just do it yourself. Take ownership of your content, build your own audience, something that you can control. Get people within your organisation to offer that level of personalisation or uniqueness that consumers crave. Trend number 4 is social media becoming the new search engine. Unless you have been living under a rock for the past few years, you will know that TikTok has changed the game, not just in terms of social media, but the way in which people are searching and discovering new products and services. And it has caused everybody else, even Google, to play catch up. Google's become a victim of its own success in not displaying the best products for you, rather displaying the ones with the best SEO or the ones that have paid the most to appear at the top of the search page. Consumers are quite happy to jump about between platforms to search for products that best solve their needs. And this is where Google's dominance in the search market is really being tested as social media becomes the new search engine. So what does this mean for your business? Well, if you're not building an online presence and giving people authentic, organic content through social media, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity. This is something that I see happening through 2025 and beyond, and it will be really interesting to see what happens to Google and the likes as this trend develops. And trend number 5 is that brand is going to become so important. This is something that I've been banging on about for ages, and it's an area where I think the whole agricultural industry needs to up its game. Yes, there are well-known companies in the industry, but very few strong brands. We are still obsessed with promoting features and benefits and short-term sales over long-term brand building. Now, I understand that everyone has sales targets and products need to be sold, but prioritizing brand is going to become increasingly more important over the next 3 to 5 years, particularly in agriculture. Just when you thought money was tight in the industry, the removal of APR has made it even more so. There's going to be less money floating around for farmers to spend, and so companies selling into the industry are going to have to try even harder to build relationships and sell to farmers. Rather than walking around shouting, "Buy from us because we're 5% better," look at building a brand that people actually want to buy from. One that makes them go, "I want a piece of that. That is my kind of company, and yes, just take my money." The trends that I've discussed throughout this video enable all of you to do just that. Use organic video content to not only educate and build trust with consumers, but give them an insight into your company. Brands are just like people, so don't be scared to express yourself. Be natural, be authentic, and dare to be different. Remember that the first rule of a great brand is be different, not better. The beauty of all of these strategies is that they don't take huge amounts of budget or expensive marketing strategies to get them off the ground. The playing fields have been leveled. They are available to businesses of all shapes and sizes, and dare I say, as a small business, you actually have a big advantage over larger competitors. Why? Because you're smaller, you're more agile. You don't need to get decisions signed off by layers of management, which ultimately makes you quicker, and speed is a massive advantage. Also, as I've seen time and time again, everybody in this industry is running scared. We as an industry are slow to change, slow to try new things, and scared of having a go. So if you're one of those underdogs fighting against an industry Goliath, see that as an advantage, and 2025 is your year to win big. The next 3 to 5 years in farming are going to be challenging, but I do believe there are plenty of opportunities for those that are prepared to adapt, to be brave, and to try something different. And if you're selling anything into the agricultural industry, then you might want to check out this video here, which outlines the driving forces behind all of these trends going into 2025.